Hi, Jerry Jenkins here, talking about all things writing. This time, why I agree with those who hold that conflict is the engine of fiction. Have you ever come to a place in your story where everything seems to grind to a halt and fall flat, leaving even you bored? I can almost guarantee that the problem is a lack of conflict. Readers love conflict. My wife and I recently celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary, and one of the best things about our marriage has been that we more than just love each other. We also like each other. We're best friends, and so of course we agree on just about everything. That's a real gift. Now, to hear about that, or perhaps notice the look on my face when I talk about the love of my life, you might be warmed, impressed, even moved. But what if I built a whole story, say a novel, around such a marriage? Frankly, I'd soon grow bored of writing it. We love our life, but except as perhaps a brief instructive example of how to live in harmony, as the old saying goes, it's nothing to write home about. If everything in your plot goes well, and nice people agree on everything, that's boring. And boring readers is the cardinal sin of writing. So, how do you inject conflict? Conflict manifests itself in two ways, externally and internally. An example of external conflict is whatever arises that keeps your main character from his goal. And of course, I use his inclusively to mean either gender. This conflict could be something as simple as a traffic jam, a bridge out, an accident that delays your character from getting somewhere on time. What is he going to do about it? Readers stay with you to find out. That conflict is driving the story. Now, one caveat: the more reason you give readers to care about your character, the more they care about his internal conflict and his external conflict. It's one thing for a harried man to be late getting to where he's going, but what if he's a husband, a father, has a very young child? Already the reader is even more empathetic. This man is someone we can identify with. But what if where he's going is important to one or both of those relationships? How dire can you make his situation? Is his wife waiting for him at the hospital where the baby's been taken to the ER? Now we're really ramping up the stakes. We all know examples of external conflict, what a character must overcome to achieve his goal. Harry Potter risks his life to keep Voldemort from acquiring the Sorcerer's Stone. In The Hunger Games, Katniss faces down the government to protect her family. She battles nature itself in the games, and she competes with fellow teen tributes for survival. In To Kill a Mockingbird, lawyer Atticus Finch conflicts with a racist culture by defending a black man falsely accused. In The Old Man and the Sea, Santiago faces not only the sea, but also a great marlin and the sharks that compete for it. He's already been at it for 84 days when he says, "Fish, I love you and respect you very much, but I will kill you dead before this day ends." But just as important as the external conflict is your character's internal conflict. In my first example, is that marriage in trouble because the main character has become somewhat of an absentee father, spending too much time at the office and, in his wife's opinion, not caring enough about the family? Now it's even more crucial for him to get to them ASAP. He doesn't want to further alienate her. He wants to make things right, prove his devotion. The internal conflict has now become as dire as the external. If he gets this wrong, he could lose everything. Internal conflict is the mental, spiritual, or emotional battle a character faces that makes him relatable, giving him that humanity that can endear him to readers. How does your hero react internally to external conflict? Truly memorable character arcs result from dramatic internal transformation. Your characters must grow inwardly to remain credible and believable. So ask yourself, what does my lead character want or need, and why does he want or need it? The stakes must be high enough to carry an entire novel. What or who stands in the way? Challenge your hero at every turn. Remove every support and convenience. Thrust him into the most terrible trouble you can imagine. Resist the temptation to equip him with everything he needs. In fact, do the opposite. Take away his house, car, income, even his wife or girlfriend. What personal flaws keep him from his goals? Readers relate to imperfect characters. Even superheroes have flaws and weaknesses. For Superman, it's kryptonite. For swashbucklers like Indiana Jones, it's snakes. Every internal or external obstacle you put in front of your main character must build new muscle that will eventually change him. What internal struggles keep him from his goal? What keeps him awake at night? What is his blind spot? What are his secrets? What embarrasses him? What drives him? The answers will determine his response when he comes face to face with a life or death situation. How will he become heroic and accomplish his goals? His change must result from some sort of action. Your character must do something. Get this right, and readers will remember your story forever. And one more thing. The number one mistake writers make is rendering their hero perfect. Who can identify with perfect? I sure can't. Heroic, yes. Honorable, sure. Bent toward doing the right thing, you bet. But perfect, no. In the end, your character must overcome his obstacles, rise to the occasion, and win against all odds. But he has to grow into that heroism from a stance of real humanity. Create a lead character your reader can identify with, and in the end, he'll see himself with the same potential. To help you do that, at the end of this video, I'll provide a link to a detailed character arc worksheet. I think you'll find it'll help you determine what motivates your character. Now, if you're a pantser like me, someone who writes by the seat of your pants, writing as a process of discovery, you may not have the patience for this kind of worksheet, preferring instead to dive right into the writing. That's all right. Do what works best for you. Above all, never forget that conflict is the engine of fiction. Now, if you found this video helpful, like it, comment on it, share it, and subscribe to my page. All the best with your writing, and I'll see you next time.